Welcome everyone to this daily Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for Wednesday, April 20th, 2016. I'm Athen, and this is for Sidereal. If you are new to the channel, be sure to check out the link because the signs are different. All right, so tomorrow we have, tomorrow night, Thursday night, Friday morning, we have a full moon, and this is going to be another full moon in Virgo. So the last one we had last month was actually a lunar eclipse. And so last month in March, very transformational time of our personal and spiritual development. So I think this is continuing with that. And I feel like continuing to work on our spiritual development, our personal development, but specifically with the grounded side of it. You know, Virgo is a earth sign, and it's about actually living and embodying our spirituality. In other words, to have discipline, to ground ourselves, to have routines, regiments, diets, things in our life that help us ground our spirituality. And so here it's a good time to see where we can improve ourselves through working with the earth, right? So I think personal development in the improvement sense, being the best version of ourselves, helping others be the best version of themselves. In fact, with Virgo is a very service-oriented sign. Whether it's through our work or daily activities, I think it's also excellent. So the moon's going to be in Virgo today, leading towards that full moon. And so I think it's great for finding the middle path with the analytical energies. Oftentimes with Virgo, we want to analyze, we want to have things figured out. So finding balance with that. And again, finding balance with perfection. Because again, the true perfection is opposite this in Pisces, which is about the infinite, vastness of life and God and the divine process. But here it's being the best we can be. Improving our situation the best it can be without going to any extremes with that. So I think that's going to be the backdrop of the day. Now the sun is shifting into Aries. So there's a bit of this shift of focus happening this week where the past roughly 30 days has been about more of that spiritual development of having faith and trust and letting go and diving deep within the psyche and all of that kind of stuff. But now the sun's going into a much easier position in exaltation in Aries. So as the week unfolds, we'll probably feel a bit more of this wanting to take action, this energy that actually is gained through taking action and putting things into motion, right, which is the sun in Aries, and perhaps a bit more of that independence and directness, which kind of has already been the case with Mercury in Aries, but now I think just a much more natural expression of that. So that's going to be the sun and moon. Now in terms of the aspects, we do have this sort of shifting day today. We've got Venus squaring up to Pluto, finishing up. And then we've got a new energy, Mercury, trining up to the North Node. So in terms of this finishing up from yesterday may have been a transformational day for some of us, particularly with either relationships or the material realm. These are both the domains of Venus. So I think integrating that today in terms of if there was any old attachments, any old fears, any old habit patterns that we broke yesterday or became more aware of yesterday. I think implementing that, grounding that today. Now, I do want to say that the moon's going to be forming a T-square with that Venus and Pluto in the evening. So I think it's going to be emphasized. And so the key, of course, with all Pluto aspects is to have non-attachment, to see where, in this case, where we can have gratitude. Venus shows us the beauty in life. And this is the gratitude in our relationships, being grateful for who's in our life, being grateful for the material stuff we have in our life, which is also Venus. And in that way, it becomes a very powerful self-expression, a very powerful way of connecting to our relationships, connecting to our values in a very deep and meaningful way. Once we get rid of all the ego attachments, all the layers of wanting to own or possess or control, and then see the true essence of things, right? And see the real beauty in the essence of those around us and the things we value. So that can be definitely actualized today. Now, as we go into tomorrow, Mercury is going to be trining up to the North Node. So there is a bit of this learning going on. In fact, I think the second half is great for any type of reading, writing, sharing, communicating, all of these kinds of things. I think there's a lot to be learned right now. And I think what we'll be learning specifically about is more about ourselves. The North Node has been shifting into Leo, and Mercury's in Aries, so there's a lot of this fiery energy about it. And I think this is specifically with this new type of expression, this new us that we're rediscovering right now, and how to align what we do in our external environment to be an expression of who we are, right? So I think it's an excellent second half to express ourselves and to learn more about that, whether it's creatively, whether it's following our interests or hobbies or whatever it might be. And yeah, I think there can be a lot of knowledge about this, a lot of practical insight gained at this time. But that's going to be mostly tomorrow. So that's the day in a nutshell. Definitely this integrating transformation and change with our values. Could be a new, fresh value system for some of us. This willingness to learn can really go a long ways going into tomorrow, specifically about ourselves and what we enjoy in life. And then again, the backdrop is that we have a full moon Thursday night, Friday morning, bringing that awareness of where we can develop ourselves on the everyday level, right? Where can we improve ourselves? Where can we be the best version of who we are and help others do the same? All right, so I hope you guys have an awesome day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.